Hey folks, Craig Ripley here for Living Off the Slab. Today we're in Exeter, Rhode Island at the Twisted Throttle factory store for their annual open house. If you haven't been to Twisted Throttle and you live here in the New England area, you really should get down there and take a look at their shop. First of all, it's a great ride. Coming down from Massachusetts, you can head straight down 102. It's a beautiful road all the way down to Route 3, where you'll find Twisted Throttle down in Exeter, Rhode Island. If you're coming over from Connecticut, you can also come across on Route 3, and again, that's a great ride, and there's all kinds of side roads to get you there. Beautiful riding coming through Connecticut anyway, so it's a nice ride, like I said, getting over from that way as well. Now, primarily Twisted Throttle is an online dealer. They sell a variety of products that are geared primarily towards the different segments of the touring market. That is, big touring riders like I am, or sport or adventure touring riders. They have set products from all kinds of different vendors that fit into those marketplaces, but they also have their own line of products that include the dry spec bags, which I've done a review on, also the line of Magna clothing, and the Denali lighting system that were all developed right there at Twisted Throttle. One of the products that the guys in my club have been really interested in is the Magna cooling vest. It works a little bit differently than some of the other cooling vests out there. So we got Jessica from Twisted Throttle to tell us more about the product. Now bear with me a little bit. We were using a shotgun mic here, and it kind of picked up some of the ambient noise that was going around at the time. But I think we got a lot of good information here from Jessica. Hi, so I'm here with Jessica from Twisted Throttle, and she's going to tell us about the Magna cooling vest that really has some great technology in it to keep us nice and cool on these hot summer days. So Jessica?
Yeah, this is actually one of my favorite things Magna does, and like one of my all-time favorite pieces of gear, because on really hot days, this thing does an amazing job of keeping me cool. The awesome thing about it, like a lot of cooling vests, you just soak them in water, you put them on wet, and they work by evaporative cooling as you're riding, you know, and the water evaporates, it cools you off. But the trick with this guy is that instead of soaking it in water, you're actually going to pour the water inside, about half a liter. So, you know, one of those little water bottles, you pour it inside here, do a little bit at a time, kind of swoosh it around, get it throughout the vest. And it doesn't fill up, it doesn't get like thick or anything, and it doesn't get wet on the outside. But it works through the same evaporative cooling. So as you're riding and the air flows through it, that water's going to evaporate. And basically it's like sweating for you. So you're not going to sweat, you know, you're not going to get really hot. This thing is going to keep you cool. But I guess the key thing about it is that, like with a lot of sports and performance kind of equipment, the goal is to keep your core temperature down. So you're not necessarily going to feel this cool breeze the whole time, but you will just not get as hot as you ordinarily would. It brings you down a few notches. So you stay cool, you stay alert, you don't get as tired, and you don't get all hot and sweaty. And you don't get wet because your cooling vest stays dry. And believe it or not, it'll continue to work for like up to 3 days, depending on how much humidity and how hot it is. I think the more humidity you have, the more it's going to suck the water out. But in drier climates, it will work for a long time.
Very nice. I know I've used some of the other cooling products that you have to soak in water and you put on. It does get you wet. And what I found that in the drier climates, like when we're out in Arizona, that works pretty well. But riding back here, you know, in the humidity, or down south where it's really humid, it doesn't work very well. It's kind of like wearing a hot water bottle. So I'm really interested in this product because the fact that you don't get all wet. You're not going to have that water, that hot water is
around your core that you're talking about. So, very cool.
Yeah, and I've worn this thing out, you know, in the over 100 degrees in Palm Desert. I can vouch for it. Like, it works amazingly well. I love summertime. I will always have this on. and look how styling you are.
And this is Peter coming in. He wants one.
Looking very stylish.
I didn't realize there was a video going on.
All right.
One thing to note, they do run a little small.
All right. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Bye-bye.
End of the day, they had sold 5 of these Magna cooling vests to the guys in my club. We're headed down to Tennessee, and being these cold-blooded New England folks, everybody's really kind of concerned about the heat heading down to Tennessee in August when we're going. So said everybody was looking to find ways to keep themselves cool, and this new dry system that Magna has sounded like a great idea. So said we got 5 of them out the door just from the folks in my club. Because I'm getting older, I'm starting to have some problems with my hearing. Right? I'm getting where if I'm in a room with a lot of ambient noise, it's kind of tough for me to hear people. So I'm trying to protect my hearing now as I ride. So I've gone to wearing a 3/4 helmet that covers my ears, or a full face helmet. And also I'm looking at getting some earplugs to, again, help guard my hearing as I'm getting into my, my last couple of decades of life. So I stopped by the No Noise booth and learned a little bit more about their hearing protection.
Am I on YouTube, Craig?
You're going to be.
Okay,
So,
you tell me when.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, Craig, you know, most motorcyclists know that if they ride extensively or even just a little bit at high speeds, wind noise can hurt the health of their ears, especially long term. You run into a lot of older motorcyclists who have a problem hearing. No Noise is a very sophisticated European country who's developed an earplug with a filter inside it to filter out noise specifically for the air currents that go through your helmet. And not only does it filter out the noise, the wind noise, but you can also hear your radio, or you can talk to your partner, or you can talk to your groups and still hear what they're saying. It's very scientifically made. I'm using them right now. I've got plugs in my ears, and I've been talking to different people. I leave them in all day long. They're very comfortable, especially in the summertime when you sweat. If you're using foamed earplugs, the foamed earplugs will make you perspire, they won't evaporate and so forth. Or they have a competitive earplug called Alpine, and they have silicones in there, and the silicones are not hypoallergenic, which ours are. We have specially designed thermoplastics, and our filter is made out of a special ceramic, which actually makes it much, much more precise than competitive plastic filters. Historically, the company was in the custom-made ear business. They took their technology and they turned it into stock ear business. These used to cost about $150, $175. You can buy the No Noise earplugs for $30. Not a bad deal.
Yeah.
Are you going to put me on YouTube now?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Super. Thank you.
At the end of the day, I had picked up 2 sets of these No Noise earplugs, one for myself, one for my wife. And let me tell you, so far they work really great. You can put them in your ears, still hear, you know, my wife talking on the communication systems, and it really helps to block out that wind noise and also some of the noise from other bikes and things around you. In particular, we were out on a ride the following weekend, and we were behind a guy that had some, you know, loud, shorty little pipes on his bike. You know, sounds great, but it gets awful loud after you've been riding for a couple hours. And with those earplugs in, it was no problem at all. The wind was blocked, I could still talk to my wife, and his bike really didn't bother me at all.
Make some noise out there.
products that I've been thinking about adding to my bike is some extra road lights. Basically, I want to increase the visibility of my bike while I'm riding during the day. I don't do a whole lot of night riding, even when we're touring. We try to be in, before dusk. We just feel safer, especially with animals and things that get out there on some of these roads we ride on. So primarily I'm looking for something that's going to increase my daytime visibility. So I have a friend Peter, who you saw earlier in the video. He has the Denali lighting system on his bike, and so I've been considering adding those to mine. So we stopped by the Twisted Throttle booth and learned a little bit more about the Denali lighting system. And again, let me apologize for some of the extraneous noise that is coming in. It was a really busy day there, and we were using a shotgun mic, so again, bear with me, listen closely.
So I'm here right now with Nate, who is the designer of the Ride Spec bag. Remember if you've seen my review of that Ride Spec bag that I just absolutely love. But he's also the designer of the Denali lights that Twisted Throttle has here on display today. So Nate, can you tell us a little bit about these Denali lights? We appreciate it.
Yeah, so we're here at the 2015 Twisted Throttle Open House, and we got our lights on display. Currently we've got 5 lights in our line. They're all LED lights, which means they're going to draw the least amount of power from your bike in the most compact amount of space. All of our lights are either using a 5-watt or a 10-watt pre-LED. So kind of going from my right to left, this is our Denali D2, and this is using the 10-watt LED. It has a beam distance of 423 feet down the road, which is going to be about twice as far as a typical high beam on a motorcycle. The D2 and the DX next to it are both dual intensity lights. So what that means is you can wire that with our dual intensity controller. You tap it onto the high beam switch of your motorcycle, and it allows your lights to go on with high-low, 50% and 100% intensity integrated right into your high beam switch of your motorcycle. So then when you get to the DX, it's a larger housing with a larger optic. It actually is using the same 10-watt LED, but because of the size of that large reflector, it's throwing a beam of light 700 feet down the road and a much more spot beam. So when you're trying to decide what light to put on your bike, if you're only going to do one, the best way to think about it is that the smaller lights in our line are going to give you a lot more daytime visibility to oncoming cars when they see you during the day, as well as providing a lot of light at night. And if you're looking for like a long-range spot to see further down the road at night, you're going to want to look at one of the ones in the middle, the DX, D4, and the DR1.
Very nice. So one of my buddies, Peter, has these on his bike right now on his Vision. So you can put these not just on adventure bikes and sport bikes, but you can use these on cruisers as well. So, and I'm actually looking at adding some lighting to my bike as well. So, thanks, Nick.
After stopping by all the vendors, we basically hung out, enjoyed some good rock and roll music from a band called Ruckus, and we watched the stunt show. All in all, it was a great day. We ended off by having a great ride home back up Route 102 to Massachusetts, and just had a great time down there at the Twisted Throttle Open House for 2015. We'll definitely be back next year.